what's happening, guys? Back with another supplement review. This is David with Mission to Muscle. Hope your day is going well. For me, it's a day off. So today, I do a little bit of intermittent fasting. So it's about 8 hours with pretty much no eating. I'm running off of caffeine and a scoop of Kilo Labs Hydra Nootropic Amino formula right now. And I did a scoop of this with the caffeine because I wanted to give you guys an idea on the cognitive effects that the Noopept, because it says Noopept in it, 20 milligrams. Because I usually take this during my training, so it's kind of hard to distinguish between the pre-workout or this. So giving you guys more of a detailed idea on the focus that 20 milligrams of Noopept gives you. Also, this has Amino 9 in it, which is supposed to be the new ticket by Compound Solutions for muscle protein synthesis, repair, and recovery. So we're going to get into this. We're going to get into the flavor and the scoop and get that out of the way. We'll get into the other aspects of it as far as the Amino 9. I'm going to throw a graph up by the lead researcher in muscle protein synthesis to kind of give us an idea on does this actually increase muscle protein synthesis. So first off, we got Strawberry Freeze. Hopefully you can focus in there. Strawberry Freeze, you're not going to be disappointed. The flavor gods came down and zapped us with some goodness as far as flavor. I really enjoyed sipping this during my training. This is a 1 scoop at 12 grams, 30 servings. Not bad at all. And just so you know, 1 packed flat level scoop is 12.1 grams. So they're right on. Kilo Labs does a good job as far as that goes. But the ingredient profile, we'll go and zip through that, and we'll talk about the ingredients afterwards as far as getting into the Noopept and then getting into the Amino 9. So right on the top, put the ingredient profile off to my left here. We got magnesium, sodium, and potassium. That's for electrolytes and electrolyte balancing during our training. And then we got Amino 9 at 7.3 grams, decent dose. Then we got coconut water powder, 1 gram. This is for electrolytes, cell hydration, some more pumps in the gym. And then we got some Noopept at 20 milligrams. So, getting right into this. Kilo Labs Nootropic Amino formula. How did it do? So, you take the scoop during training or outside of training like I am right now, and that 20 milligrams of Noopept, you can actually use this as a pre-workout as far as I'm concerned. You get a good dose of caffeine if you need the energy and throw this thing in. And this focus, it's just me and you right now. I'm just dialed in right now. And this is going to give you, 20 milligrams of the Noopept is going to give you that focus and concentration that's, geez, it's a medium-high level. So when you tack this onto a pre-workout, let's say you're training and you're taking this, it's just going to elevate things. So what you want to do if you do this while you're training is you want to sip it through. And what it's going to do is it's going to kind of maintain the focus and concentration as it starts to dial down off of your pre-workout. So it's going to give you a longer focus and concentration. It's not like a, non-social type focus or anything like that. You can really dial in. You can talk to people. You can do things. I have an hour and a half drive after I train, and it really dials me into the drive. So it's just a boom into the music, into the drive. Now let's talk about Noopept, and then we'll talk about Amino 9. So Noopept is a has neuroprotective properties, and what it does is it controls the amount of glutamate that's being released in the brain. So too much glutamate without enough oxygen in the brain can actually damage brain cells as far as neurons. So it's a protectant. It also controls the alpha and beta brain waves, which is going to help with calming in the brain and creativity. It also has some anti-fatigue benefits to it, some mood elevating benefits to it, and some acetylcholine usage benefits to it for some more concentration and focus. So that's why it dials in really well. I mean, it's an all-around ingredient there. I love that ingredient in pre-workouts if everything's dosed right. So, focus, we went over that. Focus and concentration with this is just an extra additive dialed in focus and concentration. So you're not going to be disappointed if you're looking for an amino nootropic formula. Now, Amino 9. Amino 9 is a leucine-enhanced formula, and it's a vegan formula. So they get most of the amino acids from corn, and I think one of them from soy. So it's not from your cheap sources as far as from pigeon hairs and bird hairs, like some of the amino acids out there. So very quality as far as that go. It's leucine-enhanced. So this actually has about 2.8 grams of leucine. And the rest of the amino profile here is equivalent, I've kind of figured it out, it's equivalent to about 9 to 10 grams of whey protein. So it is very leucine enhanced, and the amino acids are just kind of on the low end. So I want to put the graph up by Jorn Tremblin, the lead researcher, where he did a study that was kind of similar to this ingredient profile. So I'm going to put it up here. If I can remember the colors, I can remember how everything went. I don't have it in front of me. Basically what he's got there, if you're looking at the graph, is you've got from left to right, you've got a white peak there that's about halfway, and what you notice, you got two peaks on that are super high. The far end right peak is how muscle protein synthesis is spiked with 25 grams of whey. So that's, you can see that high level. So the first peak there, which is about halfway, is six something odd grams of just whey protein. And then the second peak is 6.25 grams of whey protein and about 3 grams of leucine. And then the next one, which is a high peak, is a 6.25 grams of whey protein and about, I think it's 5 grams of leucine. So that made a difference. But if you think about it, it also made a difference in just spiking the leucine to a high level, so highly dosing leucine with just having the amino acids at a decent low level actually spikes muscle protein synthesis the same as 25 grams of whey protein. So, and the next one, this is the controversial one in my opinion when we talk about branched chain amino acids and we talk about EAs. So the next one is 6.25 grams of whey with the branched chain amino acids added in, with about 4.25 grams of leucine in the branched chain amino acids, and that only spiked it halfway compared to the 25 grams of whey and the 6.25 grams of whey and the 5 grams of leucine. So he came to the conclusion, so this kind of makes us think as far as amino acid profiles out there. He came to the conclusion that there's a possibility that there's an uptake problem because leucine, isoleucine, and valine use the same uptake pathways. So when you dose isoleucine and valine too high with leucine and not the other amino acid profiles, then there's a possibility that you're not going to get the spike that you want. So it kind of makes you think. Kind of makes you think too that a lot of these manufacturers can probably put these products out at a decent cost with 5 grams of leucine and 6 to 9 grams of comparable amino acid profile to whey protein, instead of trying to highly dose all this shit when we can get a decent spike at 25 milligrams. So amino 9 is going to fall in between that gray bar and the dark gray bar. So because it's got 9 grams of amino acids from comparable to whey instead of the 6 grams. So I'm assuming, I couldn't find any documentation, any kind of research as far as that they've done as far as studies on amino 9, but it is very, very interesting, and it does prove that amino 9, one way or another, whether it's at that light gray bar or that dark gray bar, is going to spike muscle protein synthesis for us, which is going to help with repair and recovery after our training, whenever you decide to take this thing. So I want to get a little more information and just make this a EAA review, and I hope that helps. I'm trying to think if there's anything I didn't go over, because there's not much I can say about the formula other than it's going to give you hydration, going to give you a little bit of cell swelling, as far as your training. So it's going to add to with the coconut water powder and the electrolytes there. It's definitely going to increase the focus during your training, even if you just sip this thing. And it's going to prolong that dialed in concentration and focus. What else? Yeah, that's about it. I hope this review helped. I'm going to get on with the rest of my day. Kind of enjoy this little nootropic focus and put on a show or something like that. So if you guys have any questions, if I didn't cover something, leave it down below. I'm going to answer it. Other than that, if you can give the video a thumbs up and a like, and if you haven't subscribed to the channel, subscribe to the channel, because I'm going to put out as much information as I can during my reviews and try to not just make every review just like the same old thing, but try to provide you guys with some kind of information. So you guys have a good one, and we'll see you next time on the channel.